In this video, I'm going to introduce you to the different client components of Informatica Power Center. All these components will be primarily used by developers. This tool gets connected to the Informatica server using your user ID and password. Once you get connected, you'll be able to fetch the information about ETL jobs. Your metadata can be kept fetched from the repository, and you can start working on those information or the ETL jobs. And here we have four different client components. First one is the Power Center Designer, then we have Power Center Workflow Manager, then we have Power Center Workflow Monitor, and the last one we have Power Center Repository Manager. So first one, the Power Center Designer, and this is a tool which we use to build the ETL logic. What I meant by that is like this tool is going to define how the data has to be read from the different sources, and what kind of data transformations has to be happen, like what kind of data changes or what kind of data cleansing has to be happen, and which table has to be loaded by this. So basically this defines the rule and logic for loading data from sources to targets. And here in using this tool, we'll be defining the source tables, we'll be defining the target tables, and we'll be defining the logic, ETL logic called mapping. Okay, and here you can log on to this tool using your user ID and password, and once you log on, it gets connected to the Informatica repository, and you can fetch information from the repository based on your accesses. So when you open the Power Center Designer, you can see the repositories which you have already added. Then you can get connected to the repository using your user ID and password. And once you log on using your credentials, you'll be seeing different folder structure in the repository. Basically, this is nothing but segregation of repository called different folders, and this can be used to distinguish different ETL jobs. Okay. And within the folders, you can see the different sources, we can see different targets, and you can see the ETL logic called mapping. And this will be shown as a tree structure, and if you expand, you can see the different sources and source names, and you can see targets and different target names, and you can see the different mappings or ETL logics created. And this is called the repository navigator. Basically, you can navigate through the repository, and we can navigate through the different objects within the repository, like source, target, mappings, transformations, and there are more components, more different type of components available. Okay, now Power Center Designer itself has 5 different tools. First one is the source analyzer, then we have target designer, then we have transformation developer, and we have maplet designer, and the last is mapping designer. Okay. And the source analyzer is going to allow you to create different source definitions, and the source definition can be a relational table, or it can be a flat file, or it can be a XML, or it can be a COBOL copybook. And basically it can be any kind of sources which is being supported by the Informatica. And for the target designer will allow you to create target definition. The target definition can be a relational table, or flat file, or it can be any different type of target tables which is being supported by Informatica. And the third one, the mapping designer. Mapping designer is going to allow you to create the ETL rules and logic to load data from your source table to target table. The next one is the transformation developer. The transformation developer is going to allow you to create a transformation, which is nothing but a piece of logic which can be reused in a mapping. And the maplet designer is going to allow you to combine multiple transformations together and build your one complete logic. These two tools, is the maplet designer and the transformation developer, is going to create a logic which can be reused in a mapping. Okay. Bottom section, you can see different notification area, and you will be getting different notifications based on the actions you are doing either you do a save or you fetch some information from the repository, you get a different kind of notification. And at the top section, you can see a couple of icons, and these icons are nothing but the transformation which you can use in your map. Okay, in workflow manager, it creates a set of instructions called workflow to call the mapping created in Power Designer. These instructions set the connections of your source database and target database and all the properties required for the mapping to load the data. In Power Center Workflow Manager, you'll be able to schedule your workflow, and you'll be able to see start your workflow, and you'll be able to see the workflow which is running as well. Power Center Repository Manager has a very similar user interface like Power Center Designer. You can see the repository navigator, and you can see the workspace here, and at the bottom you can see the notification area. Once you open the tool, you'll be seeing the repository which you have already added, and you can get connected to the repository using your user ID and password. Once you get connected to the repository, you can see the folders, and within the folders you see the workflows which you have created, and the different tasks and different sessions which is part of your workflow. So if you open here, you can see the different workflows, you can see the different tasks, and you can see the different sessions as well. And in the workflow, three different tools. Okay. And the first one is the task developer. So wherein this is a tool wherein you create your task. You can create multiple tasks here, and that can be attached to a workflow. And the worklet designer, you can create multiple tasks together and can be combined together to build a logic. And the worklet will be again used as a part of a workflow. In the workflow designer, you combine the multiple tasks together to build a single workflow, and this workflow will be used to call the mapping and load data from the source table to the target table. And at the bottom section, you can see the different notification area, like you can see the save notification, fetch notification, validation notification, and different type of notification can be seen at the bottom section. And at the top section, you can see different type of icons, and these are nothing but the task which can be used in a workflow or a worklet or in a task developer. Power Center Monitor, just like the name says, it's going to allow you to monitor the different workflows. And here, once you log on to the tool, you'll be seeing the different workflows which you have in your folder, and you'll be able to see the different status of the workflow. On top of that, you can see that we can see the history of the workflow run. And so it's going to show you the performance of each workflow run, like how many records are read from the source table and how many are written to the target table as well. So basically, this is a tool which will allow you to monitor the workflow runs. Personal repository manager is more of an administrative tool wherein you can see the entire list of objects you have created through the Power Center Designer as well as the Power Center Workflow Manager. Here, once you log on, you'll be seeing the repository navigator. The repository navigator, you can see the different folders which you have access to. In the repository navigator, you can see the sources, targets, mappings, the different tasks which you have created, the sessions you have created, and the workflows as well. And at the right hand side in the analysis window, you'll be able to see the details about each type of object. So you can see the object name, and if the developer has given some comment for that object, you can see that, and you can see when it is saved. Basically, it's a kind of metadata information about each object. And again, at the bottom section, like all the other tools, you can see the output window. Basically, it's going to give you the notification based on the actions which you are doing. Apart from this, we can do some other kind of administration, like creating a folder in the repository, or we can see the dependency between the objects within the folder, or you can change your password details. And the other thing what we can do here is, like, we can while you're migrating object from one repository to other repository, you can create You can combine multiple objects together and we can create a deployment group. Okay, these are the things which you will be doing in repository manager, and again this is a kind of this more of a administrative tool. Thank you guys for watching my video, and you can go to my Facebook page and get the list of training sessions, training manuals, and the videos from there. Thank you.